In the 1700s, when the Hasidic movement first began under the Baal Shem Tov and his students, not everyone welcomed it. The early Hasidim emphasized prayer with passion and joy and closeness to God through everyday life. Their opponents, known as Misnagdim, literally translated as opponents, were mostly established community leaders who feared that Hasidus would dilute Torah study, disrupt tradition, and lead people astray. This disagreement wasn't just an intellectual debate. It often spilled over into bitter rivalries. Ordinary Hasidim sometimes faced real hostility and abuse from simple folk who had been stirred up against them. The Hayom today brings us into that moment. The Hasidim came to the Alter Rebbe, the first Chabad Rebbe, and said, "We're being mistreated. We're suffering from the plain Misnagdic folk. What do we do with all this hate?" The Alter Rebbe responded with something surprising. He didn't validate their anger or suggest revenge. Instead, he reminded them of a deeper truth passed down from his teachers. He said, "It says that loving another Jew is the same as loving God." Why? Because if you truly love a parent, you naturally care for their children. Imagine someone who praises you but treats your kids badly. Do they really honor you? The same is true with God. In other words, when you're faced with hostility from another Jew, the answer isn't to mirror it back, but to love them anyway. Just as you can't claim to love a parent if you mistreat their children, you can't claim to love God while rejecting his people. This was a radical response. Instead of deepening the divide, the Alter Rebbe turned it into a spiritual teaching. Jewish unity is not a luxury. It's the very essence of serving God. For us today, the historical rivalry may have faded, but the lesson is alive. Jews still disagree about politics, about religion, about identity. The temptation is always to divide into camps. The Alter Rebbe's words remind us that disagreement doesn't cancel out connection. If we truly care about God, if we truly care about our people, then we start by loving each other, even when it's hard.